Yo, AJ. My local track recently had a raffle and I won a brand new KX65 and I was wondering what you think I should do with it. I'm leaning towards maybe turning it into a pit bike for me, and I could probably learn to wheelie on it, ride it around the yard, or I could maybe drain all the fluids out of it and try to like store it in my garage for a couple of years. 'Cause my son is not even 2, so he's not riding yet. Or maybe I should sell it for cheap on Craigslist. Let me know.
Allie, what's your recommendation? He won a KX65 and
How much does something like that cost? She's fine. No, she likes that.
I would guess, is she on her side?
Yeah, sort of.
I would guess $3,000 to $4,000, maybe more.
Wow.
And he has a kid that's 2 years old or just under.
Could he buy a bike that he would like himself with that money?
That was Dave Drake's. Rob and myself said that would probably be the best bet.
No dirt bike knowledge.
To sell it and then get a more appropriate bike for that age level, and maybe you could get a next couple of progressions.
For that price, though?
Maybe.
Aren't bikes like really expensive?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I was going to say learn to wheelie on it and then store it.
No, don't learn to wheelie on it.
Oh.
That was one thing that we said because
definitely learn to wheelie on it.
The bikes that are that little but that fast, like a little KX65, it's like a death trap when you're a full-size human that gets on it, because you just have so much leverage that when you get on the gas, it's like you could do a backflip. So, I mean, if you could wheelie on a KX65, good. You can wheelie anything, because that would be the hardest bike to try to learn to wheelie on. So I would recommend not doing that.
Save it for your son or sell it, but don't sell it for cheap. Sell
Facebook Marketplace. If you just mentioned Craigslist, I don't know if Craigslist is a place that's still super active or not. But what I will say is use Facebook Marketplace for sure.
Also, I was just thinking, do you have to be worried about selling things on Facebook Marketplace? Like, could somebody... Because I realized when I was looking up something the other day, you can like pinpoint a location and people are stealing bikes left and right now. What are you pointing at? Craig,
who was here 2 days ago riding, got his bike stolen like a year or two ago. And he said that's why he had posted one of them for sale.
No way.
And they were able to literally, he's like, if you Google my name, my address will pop up.
Why?
Because of that ad. And so like people,
he put his address in the ad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that. Yeah. But just make sure, like, if you meet up with someone that wants to see it, do it in a public place and not at your house, because you don't want them to know you have dirt bikes.
Yes. Be careful of that. Don't let anybody test drive it unless there's,
Oh, yeah. Who was that recently that just said someone test drove it and rode away and never came back?
I've heard that story countless times. Literally, I've
How
heard that story
countless times. How do you not let someone ride it, though?
Yeah, you can, but there's a smart way of doing it. Like,
put an air tag on it?
Make sure that they like came in a vehicle and their vehicle's sitting there. You could take their ID. I mean, there's a million things you could do to protect yourself in that situation.
Good point. Put an air tag on it. You should put an air tag on all your bikes.
You could do that. I mean, that's
a good idea.
There was one story where a guy went to the person's house that was selling the bike, the person's house. Then, the person that was purchasing the bike, they brought the bike to that person's house. They then hopped on it and rode away. Turns out that the house that they walked out of wasn't even their house. It was nobody was living in it. So they walked out of a random house that was vacant, hopped on the bike, and then just gone.
Don't sell the bike. Just keep it for
Pretty
your son.
easy to avoid those type of situations if you're paying attention, I would imagine.
But just don't go willy-nilly posting it on Facebook with like your house in the background or something
I've
like
had
that.
a lot of bikes stolen. I think I got 5 stolen from my dad's house at once, all brand new. When I was
scumbags?
young.
Who does that to people?
Turns out, I think it was one of my dad's buddies.
Oh, you just told me that story recently.
Yep.
And then was the most recent one in Atlanta? Where were
I got
you?
one stolen since then. Atlanta,
North
2015.
Carolina or something?
Me and Connor Buffs' bike got stolen. Yep. They got mine back. I want to say that's the last time.
There wasn't one other time?
I feel like there might have been. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, make sure you go download them on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to watch full episodes or be a person that sends in your own video submission, go to club.themotoacademy.com and subscribe to join the Moto Academy family today.